Bonjour, je m'appelle Jesse Curtis et aujourd'hui je vais parler de Paris, France. Hello, my name is Jesse Curtis and today I'm going to be talking about Paris, France. Few cities in the world evoke as much emotion as Paris, France. It's home to much of the most beautiful architecture in the world and many beautiful pieces of art as well. Fine dining, art, architecture, these are all things that are central to the Parisian lifestyle and to the true Parisian experience. So today I hope to inform you on some of these things and give you a better idea about Paris, France. And hopefully by the end of the speech you'll be able to say Paris, je t'aime, which means Paris, I love you. Paris, the area around Paris has been inhabited for around 90,000 years, but the true history of Paris really began about the 3rd century BC, whenever Julius Caesar took interest in the region that the Gauls were inhabiting along the Seine River. It was strategically, he was interested in that area because it was a stronghold, so he sent his army up there to annihilate the Gauls that were in the area, and thus founded Lutetia, which became Paris, and that's where modern day Paris is now. Paris has survived revolution, world wars, and many foreign invaders, and it's always been at the forefront of technological and cultural innovation. So through the years, many of the greatest minds of the world have called Paris home. Some of those minds, such as Voltaire, Alexis de Tocqueville, Émile Durkheim, Paul Gauguin, Claude Monet, and Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, have all called Paris home, and many other great artists as well throughout the years. As I stated, many of the best monuments and art are located in Paris, so many tourists come to France each year. 79 million people visit France every year, making it the most visited country in the world. It's 3rd in revenue for tourism in the world as well. So you have a lot of people coming, and essential to that is Paris, because Paris is central to the French culture and it's the capital of France. Some of the places that you'd want to see if you come to Paris would obviously be the Eiffel Tower, would be the top of it, because that's a symbol of the Francophone world and of Paris as well. Anytime you think of Paris, you think of the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was constructed in 1889 for the World Fair, and some things that people do not know about the Eiffel Tower are that in the beginning many Parisians hated the Eiffel Tower because it looked like a big piece of metal to them in the middle of Paris. So many of them wanted it to be stopped before it was ever even put up completely. But obviously it was able to be completed and is now a landmark for France and for Paris. It also was only supposed to be a temporary monument, torn down after 20 years, but it survived throughout the years, and as I've stated, has become the true symbol of Paris, and often France, throughout the world. Another place that you would want to visit if you go to Paris is the Arc de Triomphe, which was commissioned by Napoleon to be built in 1806. It was to honor his Grande Armée, which was the finest fighting force in Europe at the time. Another place that is very interesting in Paris is the Cathedral of Notre Dame, which is one of the most beautiful Catholic cathedrals in all of the city. You definitely want to go by and see some of the architecture there if you have the chance. The Palais Garnier is the setting of the Phantom of the Opera, which is a world-famous novel, and the Palais Garnier is one of the most beautiful opera houses in all of the world. They still hold ballets and dances within it, so many people go and enjoy those there, and that's something that would be a good experience while I'm in Paris. The Louvre is one of the best museums in the world, and actually the largest museum in the world. It originally was a fortification built in 1190 and reconstructed in the 16th century as a royal palace, but now it's, as I said, one of the best museums in the world, showcasing some of the best pieces of art and artifacts throughout the world, from Rome, Greece, Egypt. And it also holds the paintings such as the Mona Lisa and Lady Liberty leading the people. So you have a chance to see many great artifacts and many great pieces of art. Another place right outside of Paris that you could go see is the Palace Versailles, which if you're in the area you definitely need to go see because it's a great piece of architecture and a great piece of, it's a great work, pretty much the entire thing as a whole. There's beautiful gardens surrounding it for acres and acres. As far as I can see, pretty much. It was the royal palace from the mid-1600s to the mid-1700s, and it was destroyed during the French Revolution, but renovated and rebuilt, and now it's a national landmark, so it's definitely something that you want to see not too far from Paris. The Bastille, somewhere else you would like to see if you're in Paris, It was originally a prison that people were held in during the French Revolution. It was torn down during the French Revolution, where the French Revolution began. All that remains is a square, pretty much, and people still go there to this day to voice their political messages and to protest and things such as that. The only other thing that I could think of is the Paris Metro that you would like to use to get around town, because it's very congested in Paris, and that's the easiest way to get through town. Some things are too far to walk, so it's also a great thing to experience the French culture while you're there as well. These are just a few of the things. There's obviously things you could do for days and days. These are just a few things that a short list of the main points. Thomas Jefferson stated, "A walk about Paris would provide lessons in history, beauty, and in the point of life." I believe this to be true to the entire Parisian experience, because around every corner there's history, and every place there's beautiful art on the wall, and Paris has a way of making you think about the finer points in life. I hope today's speech has helped to inform you on Paris and maybe taught you a few things you didn't know. And until next time, merci beaucoup et au revoir.